What's good, family? It's your boy Jay Divine 9. Peace and love, peace and blessings. Today's video, I'm going to be listing 5 ways to stop caring what other people think. So the first way I want to say, you got to think about this. Nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. So the fact that nobody is perfect, if you're not doing something that isn't harming somebody, if you're not doing something that's just outright cold, what makes another person worthy of judging you? What makes their opinion valid? Because at the end of the day, nobody likes everybody. Everybody has an opinion on somebody or something, and there's no way in the world that everyone is gonna agree. When a person, or even if it's a group of people, when they have a certain set of opinion on you, you can't let that faze you, because you have to understand that the Creator, God, they made them just as equal as you. They're a person just like you. They bleed like you bleed. They feel like you feel. They eat like you eat. They sleep like you sleep. You feel me? So nothing about them makes them more better than you, special than you, greater than you. Nothing about them at all. Usually a person's opinion is really based off of their conditioning growing up. It's based off of their own insecurities or just their own perspective on the world. Everything's about perception. Everything's about perspective. Something I may think is an honorable thing, or something I may think is the right thing to do, another person may disagree. Why do you think when they have councils for certain societies, that there's a vote that goes on? Because not everyone is going to agree. So, they'll try to go with the popular belief just to try to make it fair. But at the end of the day, nobody is better than you. Nobody's opinion is more valid than your own opinion. You have to build your self-perception. You have to build up your self-esteem and your self-confidence in your own self. Because once you do that, once you truly believe in yourself, another person's opinion can affect you, because they're not you. They don't know what you've been through. They don't know the circumstances that you are going through, and they don't know what you had to face to get to where you're at, and what type of perception that you have of your life and of life overall and your reality. You feel what I'm saying? This is a good way to not care what other people think, because you stop putting other people on a pedestal. They're just people. We're all human. We are all the same. We all were born here, and we're all gonna leave here. We're all here for a temporary time as a human being. So no matter what a person may portray themselves as, or no matter what other people view themselves as based on their condition in society, that does not make them better than you. So therefore, their opinion does not matter. You have to, like I said, know yourself and know your worth. You see how I mentioned popular belief earlier in the video? Most people's opinions are fickle anyway. See, look, this happens all the time. Most people who make it in the world and whatever field they're in, a lot of times the people around them didn't believe in them because they know them. People usually don't believe in the people they know personally. But when they actually make it, they make it based off of how people who didn't know them perceived them as. Or people who didn't know them, they didn't have other opinions to base that person off of. So the people who didn't know them are the ones who actually believe in them. Because it's hard for a person to believe in somebody that you see every day. Because honestly, people only really believe in people that they feel like has something that they don't have. They believe in people that they don't see every day because they put them on a pedestal. It's hard for a person to put somebody on a pedestal that they see all the time, or they grew up with, or they just know personally. You see them as an equal. The person may see them as an equal a lot of times. So because of that, they don't think that you can make it to a certain level, because the people that they see on that level, they don't know personally. So they're automatically looking at them as a fantasy. They're automatically putting them on a pedestal. When that said certain person starts to blow up, or they start to see that, oh, you're getting a lot of attention, or your status has grown, then they're gonna say, oh, I knew you was gonna make it, bro, or I'm proud of you, or they start hitting you up, blase. Let me give y'all an example. I make music. I've been making music for a while. So there was this time where I had dropped a video, or like a little snippet video, and it went a little viral. It got a lot of likes, shares, people was commenting, and somebody that I knew personally shared the video and was like, I'm so proud of you, keep doing your thing, keep going, all of that. But mind you, I done posted a whole bunch of different clips and snippets before that post that person seen. already. She's seen those posts, those videos before, but she never ever showed me any type of support until I had one of my videos ended up going viral. Now, when that video went viral, she started giving me all this support out of nowhere. I didn't even know she acknowledged that I made music at all. I wasn't even sure if she even seen my other posts. You know what I'm saying? I never even thought that. But as soon as the post had a lot of likes and a lot of comments and shares, now she's talking about, I'm proud of you, you gonna make it, da 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 da. That's, you know why? Because it was popular to support me in that moment. So this is a perfect example of what I mean by people's opinions are fickle. People usually don't have a mind of their own. So they're not gonna give you an opinion really based off of what they like or what they truly believe in. They're not gonna give something a chance until it's already popular, until it's already mainstream or something. Most people, generally, especially if they know you personally. Another way for you to stop caring what people think, nobody has to live your life. So when you tell somebody, yo, I've been thinking about doing this, or I want to do this for myself, and they start telling you certain things of why they wouldn't do it, why you shouldn't do it, at the end of the day, they're not living your life. Now, it's one thing if they're trying to give you advice on why that may be something that could be bad for you. That's different. That's different. If they're trying to give you some game based off something they've experienced, it's a little different. They trying to give you some guidance, that's a little different. But if they're trying to tell you why they wouldn't do a certain thing, a lot of times it's because of their own insecurities, or because they don't believe they could do that, or they don't see themselves doing that. I'm not you, bro. We're not the same person. I want to do this because I have to live my life. So I'm going to choose my own path. You don't have to experience what I go through. So even if something negative comes out from me making this decision, that person isn't living that for you. So now if you go and do what they told you to do, what they suggested for you to do, and you don't feel fulfilled, you can't blame nobody but yourself. For however you're going to feel doing that thing, you have to blame yourself, because yeah, they might have told you to do that, but you're the one making the decision. You are the driver in your own vehicle. So understand, you making that decision, you just put yourself in a situation that you never really wanted to be in based off of what another person had to say who doesn't have to experience what you have to experience. Why should they have a say in what you're doing when the outcome has nothing to do with them, when the outcome isn't going to affect them at all? You feel what I'm saying? These are things that you have to remind yourself, to knock some sense into yourself, to break that habit of worrying about what another person thinks, worrying about how they're going to affect you. That leads me into my next way to stop caring what people think. The next way to stop caring what people think, ask yourself this. Whenever you're about to make a decision and then you start to hesitate because of you starting to think of, oh, this person, you might think of other people's, like just how people are going to react to it. That's how, a lot of times, that's what stops us from making certain decisions. We start to think about how other people are going to react to it. Whenever that happens, right? When you think of a decision you want to make, or you start to make a decision and that gets in the way, ask yourself this. Does that person's opinion have anything to do with what I'm doing? Is it going to affect the success rate of what I'm trying to accomplish? Opinions are just opinions. What another person thinks is none of my business. Everybody's gonna think things anyway, and you never gonna know what's going through a person's mind 24/7. And not everybody's gonna like you. It's impossible for everybody to be liked by everyone. People are gonna have their opinions. Someone is always gonna say something negative anyway. If nobody's giving you an opinion, because this is the thing. In life, you're always gonna have positive opinions and negative opinions, and it could vary based on how much positive and how much negative. So you can't dwell on the positive and negative because you can't control that. You could analyze it and use that for guidance on what you should be doing, or the quality of what you're doing, but you have to realize where it's coming from. If it's actual constructive criticism, or if it's just hate, or if it's, you know what I'm saying? This is why we need emotional intelligence to understand where these things are coming from. But understand this, you can't control if it's negative or positive, but the fact that you're even getting reactions in the first place means something. So it's better to have some type of motion than no motion at all. Because if you keep worrying about what other people think, then you're never gonna start doing anything. You're gonna be trying to perfect everything, which there's no such thing as. So you trying to perfect everything, you're never gonna get in motion. You're never gonna start to create any motion because you're too worried about the negative opinions. So because you're too worried about the negative opinions and you're not creating any motion, you're just gonna find yourself in a place where, yo, I haven't done anything in the last 6 months. When you could have started creating some type of momentum, some type of motion towards whatever you was gonna do. At least you could have started doing things to have some trial and error. You feel what I'm saying? The last way to stop caring what other people think is to understand and to remind yourself that we all have a limited time here. They say there's 2 things in life guaranteed: taxes and death, right? If we're all gonna leave this plane of existence one day, if we're all gonna pass away, if we're all gonna go on to the afterlife, the next life, I'm not even gonna get into whatever you believe in. That's whatever you believe in. But one thing we know for certain is that we're not living forever. We're not gonna live forever. So you're really sitting here wasting your time, wasting your life, the valuable time that you have on this plane, worrying about what another person gotta say or what another person's gonna think based off of what you're doing. Real shit, the people who are successful or the people who are where you wanna be, and with the people who are at where you're trying to go, they'll never have a negative thing to say about you. So why are you worrying about the people who are not where you wanna be? You feel what I'm saying? Their opinion should be nothing. It should just be noise. You have to be secure in yourself to understand that what another person says isn't valid. When you have that security in yourself, you understand, like, okay, they just don't know what they're talking about. Simple as that. Because if you truly had that, you wouldn't think about what they had to say. You wouldn't care about what the other person thought. Because when you start to care about what the other person thinks, when you really care about what another person thinks, when they say something or they have an opinion, you're subconsciously in your mind questioning, like, damn, is that true? Or damn, is other people gonna feel like this? Damn, da 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 da. That's gonna fuck up your whole momentum. That's gonna put a halt to what you got going on. So now I understand. I may have kind of listed more than 5 ways in this video. I kind of mixed in different ways in each of the 5 ways. I done gave y'all a whole bunch of reasons and ways to stop caring what other people think, because really it makes no sense. Really, it doesn't benefit anybody. It doesn't benefit yourself and what you got going on. So yeah, family, I feel like this is one of the most important things you have to have in life, because that's one of the main things that you hear older people say when they get older. They wish they didn't care what other people thought, or they wish they stopped caring at a younger age. Because a lot of times, once you finally get to that level where you don't care, it's kind of too late to really take full advantage of what you could have been doing with that power. That is true power. Because that same thing, caring what other people think, is what stops most people. But when you don't care, it can't stop you. Now, you're unstoppable. You feel what I'm saying? But that's all I got to say for today, family. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. I love y'all.